Tía, qué rápido ha arrancado esto, macho. 13 segundos, estoy dormido, tío. Estoy dormido. ¿Qué es esto? Risk. Gran juego. De mesa. Pues nada, vamos a continuar, gente. Aquí... Hoy estoy un poco dormido, lo aviso. No recuerdo qué íbamos a hacer siquiera. Yo recuerdo que iba a mirar... Tenemos un punto aquí, va a ser nada. Ah, vale, sí, claro. Tenemos un punto para ser nada. Olvidado uno. Y ahí no tenemos otro, de hecho. Vamos a mirar qué cosas de la lista esta podemos volver a hacer. Primero lo mismo tendríamos que hablar con los del sindicato, yo creo. René Arnold. René Arnold. Estibador traspuesto. Tenedor de basura. Capa de policía. Barra de peso. Pero es que los de forma física prefiero no hacerlos. Y los de umbral del dolor tampoco. Compostura legendaria, El de compostura sí, pero no sé quién es René Arnold. ¿No era este? Este.
Professor!
Este es Gastón.
Your munching has
Este es
ruined
René.
my concentration!
Still, all you see is an old...
Anything else I can assist you with?
Es que la saga del hombre de Kendall no sé cómo se sigue. La vaya rata desde luego que no.
The trash containers. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you.
Pues yo no voy a
You
cerrar
see
eso con
soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong.
¿Será con esto?
She continues to be here. All due to you being a coward and not shooting her. Her knuckles have turned white, holding on to that fence. She's been here for days. See,
Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno
Vamos a hablar con la gente de aquí, del sindicato ese, porque si no se me van a ir y al final va a ser una mierda que se me vaya la oportunidad de hablar con ellos otra vez.
I've got nothing to say to you.
behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold. Nothing. Just black tangles like that.
This is where you say your bed.
He's used to giving orders and having them obeyed immediately. You should not indulge him.
Detective,
Precinct 57's finest scans the room, leaving the speaking to you. He trusts you, maybe against his better judgment, but he does.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that won't.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real ripe and pretty for you.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there, letting out that pretty boy smell.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up there.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them. Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right. Boot size 44. Blonde man, in his 30s, sitting on his right. Standard working boots. Size 45, or across at the other table. Hobnailed working boots. Size 43. Gang tattoos. Mesk or Sarah Mauritian. And then, standard working boot. Steel reinforced toes. Size 46. The big dick. Wide at the shoulders and lean at the hips. Rugby cap. Fingerless gloves. And numerous scars. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand. You squint. Is that a plectrum? Size 41, with the light step in the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy. Boot size 46, deep marks, probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor, and you could easily exceed 220. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit them with questions. Where's the 8th Hardy?
The fuck is with you, fella?
Joder. Un momento. ¿Qué le pasa a esto, tío? Ya está, es verdad, la pausa. Tenía ahí unas cosillas que escribir. Le digo, ¿qué te pasa, tronco? Tío, te estoy viajando a la cabeza ya.
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy boy?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talk.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Container belt, like we use in the harbor? Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this together, all of us, until he was dead. That's why there's a container belt around. Goddamn right.
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic. They're playing to their considerable strength in numbers. Don't talk about arresting them. You'll only bring attention to your inability to do so.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the firing squad.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's what it is.
He's clearly been in solitary confinement, and at a young age.
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest A. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation. Titus, keep addressing him. He wants everyone to know he's in charge.
Who do you fucking think does?
It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid.
This asshole is worse than... Titus runs the Hardy Boys, genius. That's why...
I think you got your answer.
Yes, there are some. Are you deaf? Do you think...
A trick question. Titus, keep addressing...
Who do you fucking think does?
That's right.
I think you got your answer.
No, you did not get an answer. Titus does administrative work. He pushes paper, fills out forms. The others can't read. But on that night, they all acted as one man. You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't associate.
Yeah. Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know what? Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service. This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Maybe wrap it up instead?
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all.
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns.
Despite the stonewalling, you can slip one more question in.
Titus, do not answer.
Fuck off, Carl. She's gone through enough without you harassing her too. She doesn't need more embarrassment.
What are you talking about? Embarrassment? If someone has been sexually assaulted...
What you need is to get the fuck out of my face. I've had enough of explaining myself to you fucks. He's dead.
As you can see, these men can only take so much baseless scrutiny. I'm doing my best to keep the situation civil, but...
It's true. She was the only thing holding him back. This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Maybe wrap it up in nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it is a group responsibility. We're going to look into this.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us, real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating.
Rent-a-cop. So that's what this is about. He doesn't see you as his equals. Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is... You're probably right. The others are only there for filler. To make the gun thing pop.
And what exactly is it you've been doing that's so goddamn special? Shitting yourself in front of us. Going around, harassing kids on the street. Kids who've done nothing wrong. All the while talking racist shit. Don't think we aren't watching, fascia. People here trust us. We're getting complaints.
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
Of course you have. You've been calling people kip left and right, inciting race violence in my town.
¿Qué habla?
Kylie said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit. Sure there is. Kylie said they're bulk purchasing confetti, ribbons too, and loudspeakers, and fireworks. Kylie works at the carnival shop, you see.
Get the fuck out of here, you...
What happened? We got absolutely wiped. Let's go before it gets worse.
What's going on? Are you racist now? Is the rally real? Please don't set up any rally. There is no rally, come on. Just ask questions. You need to put this race...
Again. About...
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people.
No, Glenn, they aren't.
This didn't change her opinion. It's not her. She's not a hardy girl.
I am not.
You could be, Liz.
Even a...
He's right. The cold look in her eyes. It's not her.
Tenemos 2 puntos. Quiero intentar lo de la capa. Otra vez. Por cierto, deberíamos preguntarle.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers. Who told you that? Fine, yeah, it looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes around here who aren't murderers.
He's exhausted from years of dealing with the assholes. That's why he's trying so hard not to be one too.
If you do find out who cut the line, though... Yes?
Honorable one, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous. Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honor cop. Living in the name of virtue and doing noble deeds while expecting nothing in return is not archaic. How can you even think that? Selflessness forms the basis for the warrior code, an ageless code, as fit for nomadic Ilmaran tribes traversing the vast red plateau in Provincia Gordi, as it is for the neighborhood postman. No, no, no. You see, you're putting the needs of others above yours. You get nothing in return, not even praise. You always get the short, noble end of the stick. Don't think about it too much. Just say it. Are you ready to get knee-deep in honor?
En el honor. Mi honor es mi vida. Esto no es lo mío, me importa un pito el honor.
Yes, your deeds have spoken for you, honorable.
Oh, honorable.
But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be
Un
completed.
ritual, el rito del
Even
honor.
among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you,
Oh,
O
honorable.
honorable one, have excelled. Honor comes from deep within you. And to truly know oneself, to know one's honor, one must reach deep within
El honor en
oneself.
sí mismo.
You
Bien.
need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors.
No te creo.
Then they will witness honor so great, it seems nigh impossible a single man can contain it. They will admire you, honorable one.
Admirarán, oh, honorable. Lo haría, pero en privado, joder, aquí en medio no.
Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then disowned honor. They are the honor fallen. You brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most
Joder. Pero ahí no ponía descartar pensamientos, tío. Me da un poco de coraje, la verdad, pero bueno. Se interioriza esto y luego lo quitamos. Vamos con esta señora.
Oh, hello, dear.
Sigue rayando una barbaridad lo de la... Lo de la escalera de arriba, tío. No lo pillo, no lo entiendo. Ahí.
The door is this door. Still, the lieutenant gives you. He doesn't like it. Still, the lieutenant. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like with this door. This door. The lieutenant. He doesn't like.
Y dos slides, pero tenemos que hablar con esa señorita. Porque creo que es a la que intentaron violar. No hay manera de llegar allí, tío. Vamos a ir a mirar... Tenemos que mirar lo de los tatuajes y tenemos que mirar lo de la autopsia. Esas dos cosas tenemos que hacer. Savoir-faire. Y me gustaría conseguir mi capa, tío. Pam, 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 pam. Tenemos 2 puntos para asignar.
Kuno care? Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it? Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea. Yeah? That shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. You wanna fuck on someone about that? Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly Union cow fucker came around?
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Ahí. Ah,
Yeah, he's the one you wanna talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor.
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or
Fuck you.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction.
you hear the lieutenant hum. He's thinking the kid has amassed quite the vocabulary of law enforcement terms, but he's not going to stick his nose into this.
Me and my partner are wondering, do you guys...
Kuno erupts into laughter, pointing his finger. An unfortunate choice of words.
Fuck you.
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Where's the fucking
Has Kuno been to some kind of school? Probably a school for children with behavioral.
Watch out, Kuno. He's...
Kuno doesn't give a...
It's tough to tell.
You're
Get lost.
Kuno...
un momento de esto.
What do you see?
The rotting man lies. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep...
Segundo, voy a guardar partida antes de hacer esto. F5.
The rotting man. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy...
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield
La cara.
volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Epui Descent, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea.
Fine. It's a three-part form to be... A scalpel is not always required. I hope this is one of those cases.
You must have me confused with the Copperpedia.
Polipedia.
You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. Yes, you see, the field autopsy form is the one on red copier paper.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with...
No, let's fill out the info form. That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says...
KK57. That.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
And what would that make the alphanumeric?
HDB 41 1111. It's meaningful. 10:15. It's understated.
Pero no es esa hora. Corto es significativo.
Good. Let's go with that.
The lieutenant is quite surprised you managed to come up with an adequate case number.
NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky!
Monstruit.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
HDB 41 0803.11.
None. At least not after the initial examination.
A strange word. Treatment.
Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something, don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure.
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dock-walkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Row, Lieutenant Nick Feuerbach puts his hand to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside, light drizzle. There elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, her silhouette ball-like against the window. Outside, Grand Coudon. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Dawson. Hand extended, he approaches, to make sure she is dead more than anything else. And so, all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRIH, 40...
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodin, I think. Let's see.
See, it's
Babrodin, yes. Inexpensive. Size?
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo, resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings. To be added to the deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person after a swim. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand. More hair sticks to you. There, dead man. You were someone's child. The lieutenant watches you in silence.
That was some sick shit, Sekopa.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, consistent with stones thrown. Low velocity.
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters. The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark.
See? My pig is gonna fuck.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck. You jam the cutters right under the knot. That seems like a smart idea. Yeah, somewhere there. Already they're buried deep in the man's flesh. Then you rotate them to get a better hold. Then...
Yeah, fuck him!
Told you my pig was hardcore.
I should have a go first. I think I have a strategy.
He sinks the cutters into the knot, preparing to perform the cuts. With snap, the knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
Here. The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck, on the nape. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury. Ah yes, your hunch before. We can have a semen analysis requested from processing, if that's what you meant. Just write down that...
The corpse with his pants down does not have an opinion on the subject. The dead man's penis is average-sized. congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30%.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy. Before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is...
Working so close to the fumes coming from the corpse must be hard. You realize suddenly that the lieutenant has been barely keeping it together these past 2 hours.
Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of him.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
Thank you for lightening his mood. It's hard down there.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the creaking of an old house at night.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Pues si es la...
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
From here, it looks as though the clown-faced man is screaming. The tendons of his jaw are torn apart. Hyoid, ripped from the force of the lieutenant. No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach, and inside, you see darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Hemorrhaging present in hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there. We already have one test as per regulation, and we...
Pigs requested semen like it's no big deal.
I'm not even interested in these boring mulkus anymore. I haven't sucked him off or anything.
Pague.
Leave it NA, cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Segundo.
Oh, so we inflicted them? Okay, so there's an incision on the thorax from a chain cutter. I wouldn't mention it. Better not to muddy the waters. Be pedantic if you like, it doesn't matter. No one else is going to investigate this man's murder. And if they do, such details would only confuse them.
See? These pigs are fucking corrupt.
Why don't you fuck 'em if you...
Now, injuries. Head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to... And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next. So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
The lieutenant's admission has caused great gratitude in Kuno. Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck.
No.
With a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured. The cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked.
That's it. We have established cause of death. It's not much, and it leaves much to be questioned. But it's a start. Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. Some would say that's the goal of an autopsy. We requested a test to be run on the genitals. That was the règle. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy. I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's all... You run your hands over the victim's cold body. His limb, his fingernails have turned dark.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct... Hey! Wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building? Now, detective, I've rarely been disappointed by the size of a giant ice bear fridge. But I think we should still take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased.
Pero ya 3 puntos, ¿eh? Qué locura. De verdad. Voy a abrir un hueco más aquí. Y voy a subir un punto de abstracción. Y ahora aquí en mapa, por abstracción, el muro del patio. Y ya está. Qué pena, la verdad. Es que el muro del patio me interesa mucho sacarlo.
Just an ordinary wall.
Another
Nothing to
try.
fear. Why?
Why must we...
A sturdy metal door.
Stop banging on the door! Doesn't matter who I am.
From within.
No, go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Backyard door.
Madame!
There is no reply. The door.
Stop banging! Doesn't matter.
From within.
The police. No, go check the backyard door. Maybe.
Backyard door.
Ah, alguien en la puerta trasera.
A sturdy
O sea,
metal. The door.
Stop banging on the door! Doesn't matter.
From within.
No, go check the backyard door.
Backyard door. There must be another entrance.
pero... La puerta trasera entiendo yo que debería de ser por aquí. Sí, está, ¿no?
There must be another way into the building.
Vaya mierda.
Trying to sneak up.
Banda sonora. La banda sonora. Tenemos que hablar aquí con él, ¿no?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will...
Her voice.
Gottlieb, what you get yourself into? I didn't, but now I do. How's the drinking going? Great. Have a medal.
Fucking, I'm not dead. It just hurts, okay?
Look, pal, getting pumped and dumped is not a disease. People live through it all the time. You should be happy for her. You must have me confused for a close personal friend. I am not. I am a medic.
One needs tending to right now, he thinks. Looking, you hear someone whine in the background.
Oh, it's you. I know a woman skilled at that sort of thing over in Jamrock, but I wouldn't want to inflict you upon her. Best of luck, detective.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? No. And I doubt they'll get back to me before tomorrow morning. Just... Sylvie? Yes. Oh, great. What else do you need, Detective? Well... You tried to jam it down the toilet, sir. Clogging it completely. After I had unclogged the toilet and... I am sorry about that. Anything else, Detective? You mean why...
Why not?
You know...
You think, don't be paranoid. She's obviously...
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget it. What? No, why would you even think that? Please.
God.
I already said I don't want to talk about this. You're messing every...
Somewhere, one of the goddamn...
Yes.
This exact conversation...
Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Yes, you absolutely should. It's awful that you lost it. It feels like you haven't worn yours in a long, long time.
Entendido eso. Segundo que ya está. Así todo el puto día, así todo el puto día.
No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. No one calls the police. You know.
Garbage.
I didn't want to get in trouble.
Push her further. Show her. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
The other people who live around here. Look,
Her voice is resigned.
you don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with. Please, I just didn't want any trouble. You do? Yeah, go on.
You hear?
Anything else I can add? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. Be smart about this. Ask if he...
10-4, sir, I'm not hearing your question. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
What? What?
He seems intoxicated and keep...
Mullen's drunk and emotionally...
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
That's a negative. Understood, sir. Roger that.
Vaya mierda. No nos han servido de nada, básicamente. Oye, tengo algo que hablar con él, ¿sí?
Yes? What about me?
That's correct. You feel a slight...
I guess you don't need glasses. No.
The lieutenant nods.
What do you mean? I have...
The lieutenant is... But this isn't an old school case.
So what? For real?
The lieutenant... That's what we all have.
Good.
Nada remarcable. Vamos a ir a mirar rápido lo del... Lo del refrigerador.
This orange machine is buzzing, turning the... It's all gone now. You slip your... If you want...
Equip the pry bar.
Porque sigo pudiendo darle a esto, me choca mucho.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing...
Seems like an old bunker from the river. Seems like an old bunker. It means there are...
He likes this find. The bear's eyes are dead and empty.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect.
Only the black cable is plugged into a giant electric...
Great.
Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr. Only the red cable. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current. Happy.
Va para arriba.
old East Delta The man, the lieutenant, adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo has come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my friend.
You really ought to wait until the cadaver is refrigerated. Digging around in this mess now is proving hopelessly difficult.
If you think so, officer, I need a little help for carrying him. Continue working here. The locals, the case, or attend to your...
This means Lieutenant Kisuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You're free to do side... If you have nothing to do, read books or sit on the bench on the plaza.
Mierda. Vaya putada. Vaya putada. ¿Y Sayo con el coche? Hola. ¿Cojones? Intentar de la capa una vez. Guardando partida, obviamente, porque me voy a meter una hostia. Sabuafe. Es con sabuafe, o sea que nos podemos quitar los pantalones, por ejemplo. Que los pantalones creo que nos quitaban sabuafe. Hagamos un ello. A ver. Si de aquí no... Más que le da el tabulador. Ole. Los dineritos. F5, guarda. Aquí no habrá una puerta que yo no estoy viendo, ¿no? No, claramente no. Vale, a ver. F5. No, no. Inventario. Esa guafe -2. Tenemos que quitarnos los pantalones y los zapatos. ¿Hay algo que nos dé esa bofe? No. El gorro. Mira de Venga.
An appalling cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
No, cargo la partida. Vamos a intentarlo 2 veces más.
No, no. You could have died.
Nah, es que hace daño crítico, o sea, me parece de coña. Carga. Y carga antes de que se joda, porque si no nos vamos a la mierda. Otro intento.
Tarpaulin cloak with
Ahí.
possible RCM markings is still
¡Ha
caught
salido!
on the railing.
Alejo.
As you leap in the
Buenísimo.
air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
El aire frío te rodea y agudiza tus sentidos. Cerrar los ojos y dejar que tus sentidos asimilen el mundo. No. Continuar la trayectoria y atravesar el aire saliente. Desde rojo,
As the
obviamente, una
concrete
hostia.
floor welcomes you, you
Franco negro.
realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline. No one is listening to your words, but it doesn't matter. You feel pride. Now, with your feet firmly planted.
Bueno. Ole. Vale, voy a volver a poner esto y esto. No, eso no. Voy a poner esto, ¿no? Yo tenía esto y me daba Spirit de Corpse. Y esto que tengo puesto ahora mismo me da Spirit de Corpse y escalofríos. Perfecto. Voy a quitar los guantes, ¿no? Voy a poner estos. Son de electroquímica. Y mano izquierda, fácil, me quitar el gol. No quiero que me quite retórica. Gracias. Está recogiendo agua de lluvia. Poder llegar a esta zona del mapa creo que me da bastante ventaja. Creo.
Snow is quietly covering the numerous wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied
Desfasó a tope
really
aquí.
hard here. Look at it. Of course it was you. You
Potato.
partied here.
Yeah, we did, Bratan. And from the looks of it, we had a hell of a time. Hell of a time, Bratan. Well, I am. Who else could crush such quantities, Bratan? This is wild. You are wild.
Claramente fui yo, ¿no? O sea, no tengo demasiada duda en ello. Vale, ¿qué hay aquí?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads,
¿no?
Renee,
Ah.
listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. You need to rest. Your body is aching. Getting in here has taken something out of you. Have a seat. Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinier uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the Rene looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories. The chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons. The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and... Oh boy, where to start? Elevated... Maybe you take the painkillers. They are yours now. You stand and...
Te levanta y te va. Aquí hay unas escaleras, pero no puedo bajar, claro. De loco. Si me pongo aquí conseguiré buguearlo. No. Qué pena. Coño, que de vueltas. Vale. Pero por aquí arriba se puede ir a algún sitio. Hostia. Brazos de ballena. Seguro.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control Marche on, Arrête off. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
No, 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 no. Nos está cayendo, ¿no? Lo está depositando.
And with a surprisingly quiet thunk, this crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. Who can say? All you know is, it's special. The crane does not return to it.
Sí, sí, no, mi compañero de piso que compra aceite. ¿Cuántos puntos tenemos por aquí? 1. Vamos a ir primero a esta puerta. Está. Creo que da la vuelta y abre por aquí.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike." On second glance, someone has forgotten. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders, hundreds of documents containing logistical data, 2 kinds of transactions, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Coulon. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everard's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everard's plants, sweep office floor, more. All items on the list have been crossed out and doesn't look too incriminating, but still feels like a... Remember, Leo, all items on the drawer slides shut.
Remember Leo. O sea, Leo. Esto. Una curiosidad.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next. It's unclear whether you act undoubtedly. Sure, why not?
Pero ahora para volver a usarlo
The
tengo que
already
meter...
familiar.
Ah, no. Vale, vale. Entonces no pasa nada. Pues nos vamos por aquí. Voy a abrir desde este lado sin una tarjeta. Ah. Puede que estemos jodidos. Ahora cómo vuelvo. Y dar toda la vuelta por el otro lado.
Before you stands a cargo container. The container door appears unmoved. A tough nut to crack for sure. But the strongest containers often have the softest hearts. The door does not respond to your advances. Why does this situation? No reply. The knock produces a hollow. You attempt to turn the handle. To no avail. The doors see. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric? You've got to dance with the one that brought you, detective.
Bueno. Nada, sigo por aquí. Oye, oye. Instinto. Como molan estos guantes, ¿no? Mi ese. Dinerillo. Era café quemado.
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt on Muindi.
Container, container, used to be well pine.
The accent.
Contain, Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an arsehole for no apparent reason.
I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rooms. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors.
El primer logro que me dan, ¿eh? Gánate la plena confianza de Kim. Ahora.
It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Poca chancla.
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think.
Yes, moving from inwards to outwards. By the looks of it, soon.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now. Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Evrard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Evrard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and his boy stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Evrard telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get them in trouble over it.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway.
Oh, we're on a not, but Titus and his boys. Oh, him and his.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple.
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who...
Oh, we're on a not, but Titus and him and his.
Don't go all bad cop on...
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy. I remember I was the runt of the club, but Mr. Evrard and Miss... Yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo.
Hola Sara, ¿cómo estamos? Leonardo Bellic.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Yeah.
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside, but I can't listen to the radio all the time. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river.
He respects that word.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community.
¿Qué el juego este?
I'm
Pues
sure.
este juego es una aventura gráfica, por así decirlo. Sí, yo diría que es una aventura gráfica. Básicamente tiene muchísimo texto y va sobre... O sea, en un mundo, se llama Disco Elysium, y en un mundo... No sabría cómo decirlo. Es que es todo completamente diferente, pero básicamente tiene... Tú eres un policía que acaba de despertar de una borrachera muy fuerte y de intentar suicidarte. Y tienes que solucionar, que averiguar, tienes que investigar un asesinato. Y a partir de ahí, pues se van desarrollando, pues, cómo está la situación geopolítica del mundo y de la zona en la que tú estás. Y tiene muchísimo texto, muchísimo texto. Pero está muy chula, tío. Está muy chulo. Me está gustando bastante. Eso sí, es un juego de leer, bueno, escuchar si entiendes inglés y leer todo el rato.
For a fraction of a second, there's sadness in his eyes.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be
A mí me
real
está gustando
happy if
mucho,
she
¿no?
turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all
¿Y tú qué?
kinds
¿Cómo
of
estás,
notes
tía?
for myself. That old
¿Cómo
head
va la
of mine
vida?
ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strikes. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Tarea, ¿qué tarea?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and
Manana.
laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from... Oh,
Aceptar
sure,
tarea.
mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir. Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their
Animal
entire
Crossing.
lives in this here
Buena mierda
neighborhood.
esa.
Guys
Buena
like
mierda
Mr.
esa.
Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Segundito.
Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course. Bye-bye now.
Bye bye now. Y el juego este juego está muy chulo porque, bueno, tiene una... No sé si te habrás dado cuenta en algunos de los diálogos. Estos son como las habilidades, ¿vale? Que tú tienes. Tienes cuatro stats, que son intelecto, psique, constitución y motricidad, que te los pones al principio. Y según la cantidad que tengas, luego puedes asignar más puntos a las habilidades que tiene cada stat. Esto se pone al principio y no varía. Entonces, cada una de estas habilidades son una voz en tu cabeza, básicamente. Es como si estas fueran facetas de tu personalidad. Contra más subidas estén, vas a llegar a conclusiones mejor cuando estás teniendo una conversación, por ejemplo. Vas a tener más conclusiones, en plan, vas a tener como más ideas acerca de lo que estás hablando o de cómo hacerlo. Y contra menos tengas, menos probabilidad hay de que salga un diálogo referente a algo de esto. O sea, estas habilidades o facetas de tu personalidad, está guay porque te hablan como si fueran personas, ¿sabes? Son como voces en tu cabeza y están muy chulo, pero muy chulo. A mí me estoy jodido porque no sé cómo volver. Necesitaría una tarjeta para abrir la otra puerta y espero que a través de estos containers pueda llegar a la otra zona, porque si no es que estoy jodido. Estoy jodido. Me he guardado, esto tiene pinta de intensidad de conversación.
Before you is a walrus of a man, seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit. With great effort, he straightens himself up,
Have a good day, Mr. Dubois. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around.
Gigantesco este señor. Vale, ahora mismo lo que más me preocupa, sinceramente, es... ¿Qué es esto? Ah, que hay una escalera. Vale, vale. Ahora mismo lo que más me preocupa es que no sé cómo salir de la zona, tío. Porque no puedo abrir la puerta, porque necesito una tarjeta. Y no tengo forma de escalar el muro para volver por donde me tiré. Entonces estoy sinceramente preocupado. No tengo ni puta idea de cómo volver. Coño, no puedo apuntar aquí. Hay una escalera, pero esa escalera no llego. Si yo pincho aquí, tampoco puedo ir hasta aquí. Y hasta aquí abajo tampoco puedo bajar. Pero es que esto no puede ser así, ¿no? Es muy raro.
This is the night.
Uy. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Ha movido aquí algo de la interfaz? Parece que no hay más remedio que hablar con el líder del sindicato.
File cabinets,
Pues
the
entonces...
drawers.
Vaya putada, tío. Quería hacer eso cuando estuviera con Kim, la verdad. Pero bueno. Porque él te va dando pistas y te ayuda y todo eso. Mr. Officer. O nada. Vamos a hablar con ese señor entonces. No queda otra. Ya me jode, pero bueno. Si de aquí teniendo la de esta en la mano.
You're back before the car.
Nada. No. Rápido.
Mr. Dubois, I hope time is on your side this time. Please, take a seat. Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Me ha matado. Momento. ¿Se me ha ido la conexión a internet? What? ¿Sigo en stream? ¿Se me ha quedado esto colgado? Un segundo. No entiendo nada. Ah, ahora parece. Vale, bueno, pues vamos a cargar la partida. En fin, por la cara. Vale, yo te sigo viendo. Sí, sí, no, pero es que... Claro, es que me he rayado porque me ponía como que no tenía conexión, pero que el streaming seguía. Y era como, pero... Esto no tiene ningún sentido. Pero me ha matado, o sea...
Mr. Dubois.
Ah, por la silla.
Please, Mr. Dubois. Let us converse in a civil...
He's trying to throw you off your game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions. I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at... Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask...
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative...
Pero es que me mata la silla.
of the citizens
Que me
of
mata la
Elysium?
silla. Yo flipo. Ah, venga, me curo.
Chair you're
Que me parece de
sitting in
coña.
has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backs.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Okay, okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry. You want to cry? God, you're weak.
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this, Mr. Dubois?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or...
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're waiting...
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. But you know what? I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again, because you—
He's hiding his real reaction.
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age— Yes, yes, Harry. You are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. You're among friends, and the good news is— I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you have a lot of questions to ask. Maybe I can help you out. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address.
It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
You must have questions, Harry. Come on now. Don't be shy. Let's hear them.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you Everard's large hands are covering the folder. But the look on his face says—
Harry, I just know the things that matter to our friendship. And I want you to feel free to ask me about— It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
you feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. Strange.
Sure, okay. You're Harold. Harmon. Haroldamus? But that's not what the record says. The record says Harry Dubois, a real man's name. Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry. You're a real man's man. Ah, this? My friends in your organization get—
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
Of course, Harry, of course. Let's not link. Let's hear it. Of course, Harry, of course. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every— Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. Who knows? Only one thing is certain. If you work with him, you're going to get it back. And working with him might be the only way to do it.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun. Now, please, let the professional—
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Harry, Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. And kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself. Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help, like I'm helping you with your lost gun.
With your lost cat.
I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could... But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors. And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple.
The stars aligned into a cosmic frown here. He has your fate decided. Bide your time, however, and let the stars continue their course, and that frown shall turn into a smile. Only if you play along.
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
He wants to send a message.
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolish. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
No.
Of course, Harry, I understand. But if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Even worse, perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I don't know what that means, Harry. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you... What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a... Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it. Though this particular brand of humor he has, if it's spilled blood you're looking for, then there certainly isn't any in his expression or demeanor now.
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't... Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man.
Vale, ya podemos salir. Menos mal, macho. Qué susto. Tío, no puede ser que se haya roto el juego por aquí. De esta manera. No puede ser. No puede ser.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. No trouble at all.
Hace falta ese borde con él. Pobre cheño.
You're back before the cargo can...
Wild Vines. Pinos salvajes. Ay. Vaya bostezo.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man, too.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. Like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words, not mine. I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it. At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. It's a minor nuisance. It's all good. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk union man about... Not much. Technical stuff mostly. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off. In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia. I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did. Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armor too. The one the bullet hits. Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him. No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Ah. Señor Mañana.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would your dead guy was an enemy combatant? He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts. No problem. The mercenary. What a thought! Your dead guy. I ain't the murder. No problem.
Dineros. Joder, como para verlo sin darle al tabulador, ¿sabes? De loco. Aquí más monedas.
The woman still.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world out of amber? Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, the side walls and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buender until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick. This man's got a hold over her, even 50.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he...
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed in her mind.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. And they will win. They're coming for this, you know.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought.
I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the mind... While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. In Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petro-state, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
Hellhole.
There's something off about it.
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean. Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old
Bad hand. Hermenegildos's bad hand.
Time? Of course, whatever stupid thing. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, of course it does. What did you expect? Of course not. To truly understand the
Boyadero, Boya for short, is a cowherder from upstream Magritte, the great steppes of northern Mesk.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. He promises to marry her as soon as he returns from the west. Of course not. The boyadero returns from the western plain a changed man. One night, as he and his beloved are out walking along the river Maigret, she pleads with him, so the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the western plain is the most beautiful. A true boyadero needs a whole horizon.
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
What do you mean? Yes? What about it? Some of them are like home to me. Lomonosov's land, the Transcatalia Magistral. You for one, eh? You're right, Loman. I'm the one who should take my health. Is that all you woke me up to say? Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are no Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
She's wearing sturdy worker's boots, made of black leather. Buckles.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronet.
Moreover, the boots were size 37. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of his innocence.
Hell damage. I was just holding my father's hand. He wasn't sending the stairs in riot. Perhaps it was another Sheriff who came and woke me up, looking at my boots, asking questions. Or,
As she says, Carnival, she gestures to the empty square with the statue and the machines.
the feet of a little girl. They fit well on the pedals. And what is that? Oh meu Deus. The lawman solved it, and here I was, thinking you were an idiot.
Republica, a filterless cigarette from Mesk.
Neither is spelled transportation. Life is transitory. Like Gabriel Buenguerro in Segúreme, Paraíso. You're the opposite of me, then. The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. Heroic doses, Harifia. Heroic. Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catala Magistral? It's more than dangerous when you've seen it all go away like that. Rolling off like the sea. And then come back to this? What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabriel. It doesn't have to be like this. Like looking into the ocean at night. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. Nothing. Until it starts. When you are deep enough. Then...
Nostalgia. Cooped up
in the belly of an airship, behind the steel windows. So you don't look straight in. No, the same one, a roller. Yes.
No elaboration.
They say there is a point. One that I have not crossed. In the Pell, super deep. If you stray too far, of course, it's a point you cannot come back from. your mind becomes so radiant with the past, there is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of... Maybe you've been down the motorway south? It's a story as lone horsemen tell, and dark, and the process begins. Erasure, kilometer by kilometer. No one knows what's at the end. I've only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake. Hosianna.
There is nothing more to do now. She is receding in the clutches of some indescribable scattered.
Joder, bueno, vamos a ir dejándolo por aquí. Se me alarga un poquito. He ido saltando un poco el diálogo de esta señora porque más o menos me iba quedando con la información que necesitaba. Vamos a parar esto. Y tenemos autopista sur. Investigación -1 de visión especial, ángulos bizarros. Bueno, la podemos activar temporalmente. ¿Por qué no? Vamos, 2 puntitos. Pues lo vamos a dejar por aquí. No sé qué haremos cuando volvamos. Pero esta tarde estaremos por aquí otro ratito probablemente. Así que nada, Sara, si sigues por ahí, muchas gracias por estar. Y al resto, pues lo mismo. Y nada, lo dicho. Espero que os haya gustado, que os hayáis entretenido y os pasado un rato agradable. Hasta luego.